So, hello and welcome along to another edition of Isolation Interviews for Hospital Radio Reading and for my YouTube channel. And I'm super excited because I'm joined by an amazing lady. We've spoken before, the fantastic Lucy Benjamin. How are you, Lucy?
Oh, bless you. That's so nice. I didn't pay you to say that either. No, I'm all right. I'm a bit jaded, a bit tired because I kicked off in panto. What, like 2.5 weeks ago now. We opened quite early at the end of November, so yeah, I'm all right. Still standing, kind of trying to fight off any or trying to ward off any kind of infections and this and other coughs and colds and all that malarkey. But I'm fine. And how are you?
I'm really well, thank you. I say my life personally has changed massively in
Why?
the
In
last
what
5 years.
way?
So I'm engaged. I'm getting married next year.
Oh,
So that's quite
congratulations.
big. I bought my first home, so I now have, I'm a homeowner. So a lot has happened in my life in the last 5 years. That was when we last
Wow.
met. Um, because
Yeah,
I
you
must
just said that
explain,
you just said to me that we met the last time we spoke was 5 years ago and we actually met face to face. I can't believe how quickly that has gone.
yeah, I know. I mean, yeah,
That's terrifying.
I came to see you in Chatham, which was where you were doing panto at the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's funny how we're now back here and you're back doing panto again somewhere else
Yeah.
this time. You're in Guildford.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a moment. But
Yeah.
I mean, how has the last 5 years been sort of briefly for yourself? I imagine you've been madly busy.
When you when you say like that has last 5 years been, it just kind of comes a big blur. I don't know. I kind of don't know. I imagine much of the same really. My kids are getting older. I'm still treading the boards. I'm still trying to earn a living. I'm still doing what I do, and yeah, I mean, pretty much the same. Personally, split up with my partner, so that kind of happened, but that's all fine. So yeah, I mean, just life stuff, really, Matthew, life. But I'm still doing what I do. I mean, it's really funny because people always say to you, they think if you're not on the television, being on EastEnders, which is what I was mostly known for, if you're not on the TV 5 times a week, people will say, "Have you given up? Are you not doing it anymore?" And the point is, and the thing is, no, still going, still plodding along, still trying to, earn, as I say, earn my keep and keep off the streets. And uh, yeah, same old,
Um,
same old.
I mean, we will talk about because also recently I had I thoroughly enjoyed watching Curfew, which was
Oh,
another
did
series
you?
you've
Oh,
featured
good,
in. So we will
good.
talk about that.
All right.
Um, but first of all, I mean, you're doing panto. So
Yeah.
tell us a bit about about because you're in Guildford. Tell us a bit about the show and who you
All
play
right.
and what you're doing.
Sure. So we're doing Robin Hood this year, down at Guildford at the Yvonne Arnaud, and I've never seen a production of Robin Hood, and I've never been in a production of Robin Hood. So it was a bit of a new one for me. But I'm playing the Sheriff of Nottingham. I now play baddies, which I love because when I last saw you, I was very godmother, still very nice, and learning your rhyming couplets and this and the other. But oh boy, do I love being a baddie? I mean, it's just I'm having the best time ever. And so yeah, it's kind of set in Nottingham, and it's got its own kind of twist on this version of Robin Hood, but it's full of songs, full of really well known songs. It's actually quite musical like almost in its content. But yeah, it's got this traditional. It's got fights. It's got your magic. It's got the slosh thing. It's got all the traditional bits and bobs, but it has got fabulous ensemble that are almost never off the stage with all these brilliant, brilliant numbers. But as I say, that what's new for me is I've done it for the last 2 years at the Yvonne Arnaud. I did Wicked Stepmother as Cinderella in Cinderella last year at the Yvonne Arnaud, and I think I found my forte. I don't know what it says about me. I'm actually quite a good baddie. But yeah, it's great. It's great to play baddie, and it does. It's tough. It's tough working over Christmas because everyone goes, oh, they're breaking up from work on this around about this time, and get time to go shopping, or time to get the turkey, time to get all their bits and bobs. And I mean, I'm literally cobbling it all together. So it is a bit of a manic time, but playing a baddie makes it all worthwhile, I think.
And I mean, obviously, I mean, so recently I had the pleasure of interviewing Lavoie, who's doing
Yeah,
panto
big friend of
in
mine. He's a big friend of
yeah,
mine.
and I mean, obviously doing panto in at the Wickham Swan, and one of the
Yeah.
things we were talking about is just the amazing, kind of getting the kids in and the amazing expressions on their faces because often it'll be their first introduction to theatre. You must love that.
Well, I mean, it's like we're doing a lot. As I say, we started quite early. We opened at the end of November, and so a lot of our shows are the 10:30 a.m. school shows. I can't tell you the joy. I mean, playing a baddie, sometimes I can't even get to speak because the booing and the hysteria is off the scale. And it makes you just go, it's all worth it. This is what it's about. I mean, I know, it's great to have all your innuendos and your great kind of adulty little bits of adult bits thrown in, but ultimately it is for the kids, and there is nothing more joyous than when they are interacting with you as a baddie on stage, not letting you speak, booing so loudly that you can't get to carry on with your script. I just go and sit down on the stage and just wait for them to finish and look at my watch and go, yeah, right, when you're ready. But hearing them joining in the songs is glorious. So yeah, it is beautiful, and often it is their first venture to getting to see live theatre, and it's transformative for some kids. They just go, wow, this exists, and I want to have a go at that. All right, I want to go and see more things live theatre. So yeah, we do have a role to play, definitely in putting on pantos. I mean, people can be a bit sniffy about it, but I really believe in panto as an essence, about introducing people to theatre, but also, it's a tough craft. A lot of people can't do it, not very good at it, and when you see it done well, there's nothing better. There really is nothing. When you've got, you see some actors on the stage or comics on the stage that have got the audience in the palm of their hands, it's something to behold, really. And so, it's really funny because, lots of my jobs, people sniff at panto, and then people sniff at EastEnders or soap, and it's rude for one, because it's hard. It's blinking hard, and yeah, they're just different genres, but there's snobbery around all of it.
I mean, on the flip side, it must be lovely to meet, people when they come to see the shows and
Mhm.
get their response and kind of, that instant reaction it must be great, especially the kids.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll leave. I'll be going out to do a little bit of in between shows, shopping or something for Christmas, and some of the school kids will still be there waiting for their big coach to turn up, and I still get booed as Lucy as I'm walking out, and I just think, yeah, job done. I'm satisfied with that. I'm happy with that, and which just means they've had a brilliant time. They've got lots to report to their mum and dad when they go home, and they've got lots to talk about in the classroom the next day. So yeah, it's just all really worthwhile.
And it definitely makes Christmas. I think if Christmas is all about being with family.
Yeah,
Panto is always in there as well. It's one of those
yeah,
things that you have to do a panto. And I'm
yeah.
guilty that there was a sort of a period over COVID when I didn't get to go out and do any of that sort
Sure,
of stuff. So
sure.
it kind of feels like, getting back into it and going, we need to make the most of this
Yeah,
because you don't want it to go. You've got to
no.
got to use it while it's there.
But it's not just panto. I mean, what's great to see is, the terrible lull that happened during COVID when theatres went dark and, actors were like majorly unemployed. So what's glorious now is watching the audience come back to theatre in their droves, to see shows, to see live theatre, and to support the entertainment industry. It's so valid, and it makes the world go round, and it's escapism. There's nothing better than some escapism, be it panto, be it any sort of live theatre. And so, it's there's life in the old bones yet. There is, people like to go and see live theatre in whatever form.
And I mean, when are you on until at Guildford if people want to come down
Oh,
and see you?
it feels like next July. Oh no, I feel like it's July already. No, we're on until the 5th of Jan. So there's a few weeks to go. 2 shows a day, 3 on a Saturday. I'm not grumbling, but I am grumbling. I'm dreading this Saturday. I can't tell you. I'm dreading this. The 14th is our first 3-show day. It's tough. You literally don't know. With each show, you go, have I said this? I'm sure I just said that. Where am I? What scene am I in? I don't know. Who do I play? What am I doing? So that 3-show days are a toughie. You certainly earn your stripes doing those days. And
Now,
the 10:30 a.m. shows are kind of, but I don't mind that. I think because I've got kids and whatever, I quite like 10:30 shows, and then the afternoon matinee because then you're finished earlier. But yeah, I'm kind of in denial about what's happening this weekend. In fact, don't talk to me about it. I don't want to know.
now, one of the other things I really wanted to talk to you about, because I thoroughly loved it, we mentioned it earlier, Curfew. I mean, how did that come about for you? Because it is such a great drama and such a clever drama. I mean, it's
Yeah,
something that you don't think of, setting a curfew for men, but it just
yeah.
it seems silly that it's never been done before. So what was that like to
Well,
be a part of?
yeah. Well, it's quite topical, really. With the Sarah Everard business and everything. And it was a book first called After Dark. And so I was through. I mean, I had to audition for it and self-tape, and then meet producers, and then was offered the role of detective chief inspector, which at 5 foot nothing, I'm kind of proud of myself that I've got a bit of clout to be the boss of a police station. So yeah, I love the scripts when I got them. It was a 6-part drama series on Paramount Plus. I think it's still there to stream. But yeah, I'm delighted. And that took up quite a lot of time, a lot of my time this year. Takes a long time. I mean, compared to soaps, which the turnaround is so quick, you get to do something like a 6-part drama series, and it takes 6 months of your life. It's incredible, really. But yeah, I'm very proud of it. Thrilled to have been part of it. Adored working with Sarah Parish, who's a brilliant actress. And fingers crossed it goes again. As I say, quite a conversation starter, really, about men being locked up between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. My brother, for one, was quite cross about it as a concept. But I said, that's good. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. Set almost in a parallel universe. But, who knows what can happen in our lifetime. I don't think it would ever happen, but it's an interesting topic and something worth discussing.
And an amazing cast. I mean, obviously yourself, Sarah
Yeah,
Parish, Larry Lamb, who just is fantastic.
yeah.
Alexandra Burke. I don't think I've ever seen her act before, and what a performance!
Well, she's known. She is an actress because she's known mostly for musical theatre stuff, and an actor is an actor is an actor. We've all got different strings to our bow, but she was fabulous. And what's lovely is people don't know her, but people tend to pigeonhole you. They go, "Oh, you're a stage actor, or you're a TV actor, or you're a soap actor," which drives me mad. I've got to say, because it's nonsense. We're all actors. We can all do lots of it. Some sing better than others, and some can't dance, whatever. But ultimately, we're all actors, and we can turn our hand to something. And it's just funny the way people like to label whatever. But I was really pleased for her. She did a brilliant job, and it's lovely for the world to see that she's an actress. She doesn't have to sing, doesn't have to dance, doesn't have to be on in the West End. She can be on the television, and it's great. But
And I
yeah,
mean, we must say people need to check it out if they haven't seen it. It's on Paramount Plus at the
bless
moment.
you.
The first series. Fingers crossed for another series because it
Yeah,
is fantastic.
it would be great to go again. That's for sure. Yeah, yeah.
And
Thank you.
one other thing I thought we'd mention is the fact that Tamsin Outhwaite doing Strictly. What's your
I
thoughts on
know.
that?
Strictly, yeah, the Strictly Christmas special, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, listen, Tamsin can dance. I've danced the night away with Tamsin many, many times. So I'm not surprised. And we might end up seeing her next year on the series. But I think she'll be amazing. Honestly, Tamsin is a brilliant dancer. So watch this space, I will say. Yeah, I'll be rooting for her all the way.
Fantastic. And have you ever done the show? I don't think you have you?
I haven't.
No. Would you ever do
No,
it?
do you know what? I suppose I went to theatre school, right, as a kid. So I went from the age of 9 till I was 17, 18. And I started out in musical theatre. Well, I actually, when I was a kid, I was a disco dancer. So I always believe that I'm a dancer, I'm a dancer. I'm not a dancer. People always think they can dance. I go, yeah, I'm the best dancer in the world. That's when they're drunk, mostly. That's me. I would love to do it, I think. I think it's hard work. Which I'm not afraid of that. But I've done my turn at kind of few celebrity bits and bobs. It's not my favourite thing to do, but I think Strictly would be something I would do. Ask me about dancing on ice, and I think I'd go, oh no, terrifying. I would I can ice skate because I roller skated when I was a kid. back in the day. We all went to roller discos at my age, and I also did the skate school for Starlight Express. The first time it was in the West End, so I had really brilliant roller skating practice and technique and teaching, whatever. So it's kind of similar to ice skating, but that fills me with absolute dread and horror. The fear of hurting yourself like that. Oh, no. But yeah, I can't wait to watch Tam. Give it a go. And yeah, I'm sure she'll be amazing.
I think she's going to be fantastic.
She will be. Who else is doing it? Do you know? Who else is doing it?
The only other one I can remember is Josh Widdicombe, the comedian. I know he's doing it, but I can't remember who else is doing it. I'll be honest with you. But it's going to. I mean, I'm Team Tamsin all the way. I'm sure you are as well.
And often it does lead. The Christmas special often does lead to. It's like Jamie Borthwick, who did the Christmas special from EastEnders, who plays Jay. He did the Christmas special, and then he ends up just doing this series and did brilliantly. So Tam might end up doing next year.
Fingers crossed.
We shall see.
Obviously, next year we have to just talk about it. EastEnders will be 40. I mean, would you go back? I'm sure you get fed up with being asked that question.
No, I don't get fed up with being asked it. But the honest answer is, I know, it's not my choice. I literally get a phone call 6 weeks beforehand, and I get a producer going to me, "Would you like to? This is the story. How do you feel about it?" Each time they've done that to me, I've liked what they've written for me, and I go, yeah. It also depends on what you're doing at the time, if you're free, if you're available, but you never get much notice. At this moment in time, there are no plans for Lisa to go back to EastEnders. But, the way it's worked before is, as I say, you get a call 6 weeks beforehand, and then you're filming, and you go, well, how did this happen? But listen, I'm a big fan of the show. I'm really back into it. We all go through phases with soaps, don't we? We kind of dip in and we dip out, but I'm fully following it at the moment. I think I've done it, I think since last Christmas with all the 6 storyline. So, and I've kind of been hooked since then. I'm loving watching it. If she goes back, she goes back. If she doesn't. I've taken part there's a big 40th anniversary documentary that Ross Kemp filmed last year towards the end of, what am I on about? Yeah, no, this year. I'm already in 2025. That's panto for you. But yeah, so that goes out next year in, I think, February time. So I took part in this documentary just talking about, the whole of my time on EastEnders, which was lovely. And then we shall see. So I do not know, Matthew, but I never know. They keep things to themselves.
Now, obviously, apart from panto and apart from watching Tamsin on Strictly, how will you be spending Christmas? What is Christmas for you? What do you get up to? Stuff in
my face. Literally. We get one day off. We get Christmas Day off. And I will be cooking dinner for the family, and it will then just be me eating lots, getting up early with the kids and opening presents, obviously, then cooking, then eating, then watching telly, then snoozing, and back to work. 2 shows on Boxing Day. So I relish my Christmas Day. I think maybe because I do panto quite a lot. I do really appreciate Christmas Day hugely now. It's very special to me because it's the one day off. And even though my kids are like 13 and 18 now, my 2 girls, they still love it, and we're still in the vibe, and it's just very traditional. And it is about just chilling, and it's like just guilt-free eating, guilt-free not doing it, guilt-free just sitting on the sofa all day and watching television as long and as much as you want to do. I have the radio on quite a lot. I love Christmas radio. So probably what most people do, really.
It sounds perfect to say. I mean, there's nothing beats just Christmas Day, sitting in front of the telly, watching, a nice Christmas film. Is that
what you will do? Would that be you?
Do you know what? Probably.
Home?
Yeah, well, I'd say so. I'll be visiting. Probably we're with the in-laws this year, so I'll be sat most likely watching something on the telly. We'll be obviously stuffing our faces with a full turkey roast at lunchtime, and then probably won't want to move for the rest of the day.
Will you have any arguments? Often there has to be an argument.
There will probably be an argument. I'll probably be the one sat there just watching the argument and trying to keep quiet.
I'm sure there'll be an argument with me and my mum, or me and the girls and my mum. There'll be us girls will be squabbling at some point during the day, and then we'll be fine. We move on very quickly, but there's bound to be a few kind of Few words.
Exactly. That's Christmas. That is
Our
Christmas.
very own EastEnders episode.
Now, Lucy, I have to just say it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining me again.
Ah.
Hopefully, it won't be 5 years before we speak
Oh,
again.
yeah. That's
Um,
rude, isn't it? It's rude.
but good luck with the panto.
Thank you,
Obviously,
darling.
if people want to go and see you, you're in Guildford. Go and check
Yeah.
Lucy out, and also check out Curfew on Paramount Plus. That is fantastic.
Bless
But
you.
thank you so much for
All
giving
right,
up your
darling.
time.
Lots of love and happy Christmas to everyone.